This breakfast habit melts belly fat after 60 without exercise. What if I told you that one simple breakfast habit could help you reduce stubborn belly fat after 60 without a single minute of exercise? You might think it sounds too good to be true, but stay with me because what I'm about to share is backed by solid science and has helped thousands of people over 60 transform their health naturally. Before we dive in, I want you to know that this video isn't designed to scare you or make you feel bad about your current situation. Instead, my goal is to support you with gentle, proven strategies that work with your body's natural processes as we age. The truth is, your body after 60 is incredibly wise and capable of positive change when given the right tools, and today we're going to discover one of the most powerful tools hiding right in your morning routine. As we move through our 60s and beyond, our bodies undergo natural changes that can make maintaining a healthy weight more challenging than it was in our younger years. The belly fat that seems to accumulate despite our best efforts isn't just about appearance. It's about our overall health and quality of life. This stubborn abdominal fat, particularly the visceral fat that surrounds our organs, can affect our energy levels throughout the day, making us feel sluggish and less motivated to engage in activities we love. It can impact our sleep quality, leaving us tossing and turning at night, and it often affects our confidence and mood, making us feel less comfortable in our own skin. What many people don't realize is that after 60, our metabolism naturally slows down by about 2 to 3% per decade, and our insulin sensitivity can decrease, making it easier for our bodies to store fat, especially around the midsection. This isn't a failure on your part. It's simply how our bodies adapt to the aging process. The hormonal changes that occur as we age, including shifts in growth hormone, cortisol, and for women, estrogen levels, all contribute to this tendency to store fat in the abdominal area. But here's the encouraging news. Your morning meal timing and composition can work as a powerful ally in naturally addressing these changes. The right breakfast approach can help rebalance your hormones, improve your insulin sensitivity, and kickstart your metabolism for the entire day. When you understand how to work with your body's natural rhythms, you can create positive changes that ripple through every aspect of your health, from better energy and mood to improved sleep, and yes, a reduction in that stubborn belly fat. The first habit that can revolutionize your morning and your metabolism is eating your breakfast within 1 hour of waking up. This might seem obvious, but many people over 60 either skip breakfast entirely or eat it too late in the morning, missing a crucial window for metabolic activation. When you wake up, your body has been fasting for 8 to 12 hours, and your cortisol levels are naturally at their peak. This is actually perfect timing because cortisol, when properly balanced, helps your body mobilize stored fat for energy. By eating within that first hour, you're signaling to your body that it's safe to start burning fat rather than storing it. The science behind this is fascinating. When you delay breakfast or skip it altogether, your body interprets this as a potential famine situation and begins to conserve energy and store fat, particularly around the midsection. Your metabolism slows down, and your body becomes more efficient at fat storage rather than fat burning. However, when you eat a balanced breakfast within that optimal window, you're essentially telling your body that nutrition is abundant and it's safe to speed up metabolism and burn stored fat for energy. The second transformative habit is starting your morning with a protein-rich meal that contains at least 20 to 30 grams of high-quality protein. This isn't about forcing yourself to eat massive portions, but rather about choosing protein sources that work well for your digestive system and preferences. Protein has what scientists call a high thermic effect, meaning your body burns more calories digesting protein compared to carbohydrates or fats. When you eat protein first thing in the morning, you're essentially revving up your metabolic engine for the entire day. For seniors, this protein-first approach is particularly powerful because it helps maintain muscle mass, which naturally declines with age. Every pound of muscle tissue burns more calories at rest than fat tissue, so preserving and building muscle through adequate protein intake is like having a metabolic furnace working for you all day long. Excellent breakfast protein sources include eggs, which are easily digestible and contain all essential amino acids. Greek yogurt, which provides probiotics for gut health alongside protein, cottage cheese, which is gentle on the digestive system, or even a small portion of lean fish, if that appeals to you. The third habit involves timing your carbohydrate intake strategically, rather than avoiding carbohydrates entirely, which can be counterproductive and unsustainable. The key is choosing the right types and eating them at the right time. Complex carbohydrates eaten in the morning, such as oatmeal, whole grain toast, or fresh fruits, provide sustained energy and help stabilize blood sugar levels throughout the day. The mistake many people make is eating simple carbohydrates or processed foods that cause blood sugar spikes followed by crashes, leading to increased hunger and fat storage later in the day. When you eat complex carbohydrates in the morning, your body is most insulin sensitive, meaning it can efficiently process these carbohydrates and use them for energy rather than storing them as fat. This is particularly important for people over 60, as insulin sensitivity naturally decreases with age. By working with your body's natural rhythms, you can maximize the benefits of carbohydrates while minimizing their potential for fat storage. The fourth, and perhaps most surprising habit, is incorporating healthy fats into your morning routine. Many people fear fats when trying to lose weight, but the right fats can actually enhance your body's ability to burn stored fat. Healthy fats like those found in avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil help slow down the absorption of carbohydrates, preventing blood sugar spikes and keeping you satisfied longer. They also provide essential fatty acids that support hormone production and cellular function. When you include healthy fats in your breakfast, you're creating what nutritionists call a balanced macronutrient profile. This combination of protein, complex carbohydrates, and healthy fats works synergistically to stabilize blood sugar, reduce cravings throughout the day, and support your body's natural fat-burning processes. The key is choosing portions that work for your individual needs and preferences, typically about 1 to 2 tablespoons of healthy fats per meal. Let me share with you the story of Margaret, a vibrant 67-year-old grandmother from Ohio who discovered the power of these breakfast habits quite by accident. Margaret had been struggling with what she called her stubborn middle for nearly a decade. Despite trying various diets and exercise programs, she couldn't seem to reduce the belly fat that had gradually accumulated over the years. She felt frustrated and defeated, often telling her daughter that she'd simply accepted this as an inevitable part of aging. Margaret's transformation began when she started caring for her elderly mother, who had very specific dietary needs that required regular, nutritious meals. As Margaret prepared these meals, she naturally began eating breakfast at the same time each morning, something she hadn't done consistently in years. She noticed that when she ate breakfast with her mother, she had more energy throughout the day and felt less hungry between meals. Curious about these changes, Margaret decided to be more intentional about her breakfast choices. She started including eggs or Greek yogurt for protein, added berries or half a slice of whole grain toast for complex carbohydrates, and incorporated a small amount of nuts or half an avocado for healthy fats. She wasn't following a strict diet or counting calories. She was simply focusing on eating a balanced, nourishing breakfast within an hour of waking up. Over the course of 6 months, Margaret noticed remarkable changes. Her energy levels stabilized throughout the day. She no longer experienced the afternoon crashes that had plagued her for years, and her sleep quality improved significantly. Most surprisingly to her, she began losing weight, particularly around her midsection, without any additional exercise beyond her daily walks with her small dog. When Margaret's daughter commented on how much healthier and more energetic her mother looked, Margaret realized that these simple breakfast changes had created a ripple effect throughout her entire day. She was making better food choices naturally, feeling more satisfied with smaller portions, and had the energy to engage in activities she'd been avoiding. After 8 months of consistent breakfast habits, Margaret had lost 22 pounds and several inches from her waist. But more importantly, she felt like herself again. Now that you understand the science and have seen how these principles can work in real life, let's talk about how you can implement these breakfast habits into your daily routine. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity and flexibility. You don't need to completely overhaul your morning routine or invest in expensive supplements or meal replacement shakes. Start by setting a consistent wake-up time if you don't already have one. This helps regulate your body's internal clock and makes it easier to eat within that optimal 1-hour window. If you currently skip breakfast or eat it very late, begin by gradually moving your breakfast time earlier by 15 to 20 minutes each day until you're eating within an hour of waking up. For your protein component, aim for 20 to 30 grams, which translates to about 2 whole eggs, 3/4 of a cup of Greek yogurt, or half a cup of cottage cheese. If you prefer plant-based options, you might choose 2 tablespoons of almond butter on whole grain toast, or a small smoothie made with protein powder and unsweetened almond milk. The key is finding protein sources that you enjoy and that agree with your digestive system. Your complex carbohydrate portion should be about the size of your cupped hand. This might be half a cup of oatmeal, 1 slice of whole grain bread, or a small piece of fruit like an apple or banana. If you're managing diabetes or prediabetes, you might want to start with smaller portions and monitor your blood sugar response. For healthy fats, think in terms of 1 to 2 tablespoons per meal. This could be half an avocado, a small handful of nuts, a tablespoon of olive oil drizzled over vegetables, or a tablespoon of ground flaxseed sprinkled on your yogurt. These portions might seem small, but healthy fats are calorie-dense and very satisfying. Create a simple meal template that you can modify based on your preferences and what's available. For example, your template might be protein plus vegetable plus healthy fat plus optional complex carbohydrate. This could look like scrambled eggs with spinach and a slice of avocado, or Greek yogurt with berries and a sprinkle of chopped walnuts. Prepare what you can the night before to make mornings easier. You might hard-boil eggs at the beginning of the week, pre-portion nuts into small containers, or prepare overnight oats that you can grab from the refrigerator. The easier you make it for yourself, the more likely you are to stick with these new habits. To maximize the benefits of these breakfast habits, consider these additional strategies that can amplify your results. First, pay attention to your hydration status. Many people wake up mildly dehydrated, which can slow metabolism and increase hunger. Try drinking a glass of water as soon as you wake up before you have your breakfast. You might add a squeeze of lemon juice which can help stimulate digestion and provide a small amount of vitamin C. The order in which you eat your breakfast components can also make a difference. Try eating your protein first, followed by vegetables if you're including them, then your complex carbohydrates, and finish with healthy fats. This sequence can help stabilize blood sugar and increase satisfaction from your meal. Consider incorporating gentle movement after breakfast, even if it's just a 5-minute walk around your house or some light stretching. This isn't about intense exercise, but rather about helping your body process the nutrients you've consumed and gently stimulating your metabolism. Pay attention to how different foods make you feel throughout the morning. Some people do better with more protein, while others feel best with a higher proportion of complex carbohydrates. Keep a simple food and energy journal for a week or two to identify patterns and preferences. If you take medications, particularly for diabetes or blood pressure, consult with your healthcare provider about the best timing for your breakfast in relation to your medications. Some medications work better when taken with food, while others are more effective on an empty stomach. Consider the temperature of your breakfast foods. Some people find that warm foods are more satisfying and easier to digest, especially in the morning. Others prefer cool foods like yogurt or smoothies. Listen to your body and choose what feels best for you. Now, you might be wondering about some common concerns and questions that arise when people start implementing these breakfast habits, so let's address those next. One of the most common questions I hear is whether this approach will work if someone is taking medications or has conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure. The wonderful thing about focusing on whole foods and balanced nutrition is that it generally supports better health regardless of existing conditions. However, it's always wise to discuss any significant dietary changes with your healthcare provider, especially if you're taking medications that affect blood sugar or blood pressure. In many cases, improving your breakfast habits can actually help stabilize these conditions, but your doctor may need to adjust your medications as your health improves. Another frequent concern is whether someone needs to eat breakfast if they're not hungry in the morning. This is completely understandable, especially if you've been skipping breakfast for years. Your hunger signals may need time to readjust. Start with something small and easy to digest, like a hard-boiled egg or a small cup of Greek yogurt. Over time, as your metabolism becomes more active in the morning, you'll likely find that you naturally become hungrier earlier in the day. Many people ask about portion sizes and whether they need to count calories or measure everything precisely. The beauty of this approach is that you don't need to become obsessive about measurements. Focus on the general guidelines I've shared and then listen to your body. If you feel satisfied and energetic throughout the morning, you're probably eating the right amount for you. If you're still hungry an hour after breakfast, you might need more protein or healthy fats. If you feel overly full or sluggish, you might try smaller portions. Some people worry about whether they can still enjoy their morning coffee or tea with this approach. Absolutely. Coffee and tea can actually support metabolism and provide beneficial antioxidants. The key is being mindful of what you add to them. If you currently use a lot of sugar or flavored creamers, you might gradually reduce these or switch to healthier alternatives like a small amount of coconut milk or a touch of cinnamon. Finally, many people ask how long it takes to see results from these breakfast habits. While everyone's body responds differently, many people notice improvements in energy and mood within the first week. Changes in weight and body composition typically become noticeable after 3 to 4 weeks of consistent practice. Remember, the goal isn't just rapid weight loss, but sustainable, healthy changes that support your overall well-being as you age. As we wrap up today's discussion, I want you to remember that the journey to better health after 60 isn't about dramatic changes or extreme measures. It's about making gentle, sustainable adjustments that work with your body's natural wisdom. These breakfast habits we've explored today represent a simple yet powerful way to support your metabolism, energy levels, and overall well-being without adding stress to your life. The beautiful thing about focusing on breakfast is that it sets a positive tone for your entire day. When you nourish your body well in the morning, you're more likely to make healthier choices throughout the day, not because you're forcing yourself to, but because you feel better and your body naturally craves foods that support its optimal function. Remember Margaret's story and how small, consistent changes created remarkable transformations in her life. You have that same potential within you. Your body after 60 is incredibly capable of positive change when given the right support and nutrition. These breakfast habits aren't just about losing belly fat. They're about reclaiming your energy, improving your mood, and feeling confident and comfortable in your own skin. Start small. Be patient with yourself and celebrate the small victories along the way. Every morning is a new opportunity to nourish your body and move closer to your health goals. If you found these tips helpful, I'd love for you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you tried any of these breakfast habits before? What changes have you noticed in your energy or health? Your experiences might inspire and help others who are on a similar journey. If this video resonated with you, please take a moment to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more gentle, science-based health tips specifically designed for people over 60. Remember, aging is a privilege, and with the right tools and knowledge, it can be one of the most vibrant and fulfilling times of your life. Here's to your health and happiness in every season of life.